Retrieving Aus. I'm Nicky.
I'm Ricky.
And this is our beautiful golden retrievers, Loui and Kobi. You might have seen a few of our YouTubes now, but you might not know who we are. So we just thought we'd do a quick midweek episode and tell you guys a bit about us.
We are married now. We got married in 2020.
Did we?
Right? Just joking, guys. You know, I got to put a bit of funny content in there to keep the crowd happy. Yeah, we've lived together for the past 5-6 years now. We bought a home in Victoria. We did some renovations with the help of a lot of people. Then we sold up and started travelling around Australia.
So, Rich, what did you do before we started travelling Australia?
I was in fire protection, so all the fire sprinklers in the new buildings, old building service. It was a good job, but unfortunately the travel in Australia looked a bit more appetising to me than working at the time, so we thought before we really get settled down in life and find another house, do renovations, and if we ever think of kids or whatever, I wanted to travel before all that, and we'll do it again after all that. So yeah, what about you, Nick? What do you do for work?
So I have been in commercial real estate for about 8 years now, and I actually am still doing it on the road. So I'm working Monday through to Thursday full time, just remote, which we, from Victoria, we were locked down for 2 years. So we were quite used to working from home. So it's really no different to that, other than I've got a beautiful background every single day and I get to go for nice outdoor walks compared to being locked in at home.
Yeah, and on that note, while Nicky's working on the road, Starlink is an absolute game changer. We could not do it without it. She would have to quit if we didn't have Starlink, but
yeah,
just in all honesty, if it's a bit of a crappy weather, it's not always sunny when we're away. It's, you know, you get your rainy, miserable days, you get the wind, sometimes you can't do nothing, so it's nice to have the Starlink as a backup. You can sit inside, you know, next to a bit of a sleep in the mornings when it's raining. You just watch a few Netflix episodes, catch up on YouTube, you know, on our favourite people, like Retrieving Aus. So it's good. Like, if you haven't got Starlink, strongly consider doing it and get rid of the other internet providers, because Starlink is an absolute game changer. We have no service in some spots, and we just put the dish out and it's up, ready to go in 5-10 minutes max, and you're getting more download speed and stuff than you do with other network providers back at home, like east of Melbourne. So it's crazy, it's really good.
So Rick, what's been your favourite place you've seen in your travelling so far?
I've got a top 5, I reckon. I fell in love with a place called Bremer Bay, which is south coast of Western Australia. That was really nice. I loved it. It was just like crystal clear water. I think I've got a video on my phone, so I'll get Nick to put it in up on the screen now. So this is Bremer Bay. Number 2, we're just going around, was I liked the Margaret River, Denmark area. That was just felt like home to us. Had the big trees, and you're 10 minutes away from the water. It was really nice. And then Rottnest Island.
Yeah,
Number 3.
That was pretty sticky.
Yeah, that was really cool. We had a perfect day there. Weather was just to die for. We got the bikes. The dogs got looked after for the day, but we hired the bikes for the day and just rode around the island for the day with my mum and auntie, which was really fun. When we ended up at the pub in the afternoon. We always end up at the pub somewhere. Number 4 was Karanjini National Park. Then again, the dogs were looked after for a few days, as you've seen on the YouTube. It was really good. It was nice. As like every corner you turned was just like picturesque. It was perfect. We love that area. But probably my favourite place so far is where we're at the moment. So we're at Barnhill Station, just an hour and a half south of Broome, and it is magnificent. It's like really, it's camping, and then you walk 5 minutes, not even that, and you just at a beautiful beach, just red cliffs, big rocks like they you see behind us, and just beautiful water, good fishing, and they just do heaps of activities and stuff here. It's really good. We have had no trouble here or nothing. It's just absolutely perfect. So Oh, that's my favourite. So what about you, Nick?
Same. I think definitely Barn Hill Station here has just been a real highlight for me. We've spent a really good amount of time here. It's been relaxing. It's beautiful. I can't fault it. But having said that, we still have half of Australia, more than half of Australia to do. So there's so much more to see. But so far we've loved everywhere we've been.
We'll have to have an update on the next half, because I reckon there's going to be some cool spots up north and the east coast. So we're looking forward to the east coast. So I just did a little list, man. I don't have a voice guy, don't worry.
So with Loui sooking over here brings me to the next question. How's it going travelling with dogs?
It would be easy without him, but I couldn't do it without him. I couldn't not leave my dog at home, or dogs at home for... I struggled to leave him for a day, let alone, you know, we're planning 6 to 9 months of being on the road, and Kobe turned 1 on the road, so she's
still a pup.
She's still a pup, and if we left her for 9 months, she wouldn't even know who we are by the time we get home. And Loui, he's just my favourite little boy. I love him to death.
Oh,
so
that's
yeah, he's my little buddy. So yeah, I enjoy travelling with him. But to be honest, we've missed 10%, I reckon, of stuff we wanted to do just due to you know, national parks and that. But it is what it is. It's our choice.
Yeah. So the reason he's sooking at the moment is there's a seagull just on the beach right there, and he's just looking at it, wanting to chase it. But we've got him on his lead because if we're doing this video, we can't make sure these dogs aren't running off. So
yeah.
He's a little bit upset right now.
They are water dogs. Anywhere we camp where Kobe can hear the ocean lapping on the beach from our caravan, she is just ready to go all the time. This is Barn Hill Station's probably the last spot we'll let them swim freely like this, because there's no crocs. They have spotted them like twice, but they don't come to shore. They've just cruised past because there's no mangroves or nowhere for them to live around here, so they just come past. So this is the absolute last spot they'll swim freely, and then we'll have to wait until we're back on the east coast.
So quick introduction to the dogs. This is Loui. He's 3.5 years old. He's the furrier dog out of the two. Most people can't tell the difference. Loui is very much a spoilt little boy. He was an only child for 2 years. So he's our little sook. And then Kobe, crack baby, has the most amount of energy of any dog I've ever known. We think she's like part golden retriever, part kelpie, or like farm dog, because she's just got so much energy.
She doesn't stop. You can just take her for swims for hours and hours, and Loui gives up and has a little rest on the beach. But Kobe, she is just next level. She does not stop. She's full on.
Yeah, and like Rick said, she's just turned 1, so she's still a pup.
Yeah. She's pretty good. I like her too. Yeah.
And who are you? How old are you? What are your hobbies? Tell us about you, Rick.
So I'm 31. I think you start losing count after about 25. Just doesn't matter anymore. Hobbies, travelling around Australia at the moment. I haven't got really any other hobbies. I've tried to get into fishing as much as I can, just to pass time.
Come here.
I'm a dog groomer now. I always brush the dogs, look after them. I'm good at doing the laundry now. Got to do all the laundry. That's my job because Nicky's working, so I do the laundry. That's about it. I'll just, fishing. I like cars, and I like actually just walking around and just talking to everyone and looking at their setups and getting ideas. And at the moment we're on the market for a new solar blanket because I run over the corner of our one. So I'm just walking around all the campsites in Barn Hill just asking, how's your solar? Just getting I want the good quality kind of things, because solar is the next thing. You know, you can have as much battery as you can, but you've got to regenerate the power somehow. So, yeah. So, how old are you, Nick? Well, I know, but this is for the viewers.
I'm 27 years old. Hobbies for me, I'm really happy to do anything. Like, I love being outdoors. That's been my favourite thing about our trip, is just that we're sort of forced to be outdoors. At home, you just you go to work, you go home, you're tired, you go to bed, and it's just, you don't see enough of the sunlight. For me, I love cooking, so you've probably seen our YouTubes. I'm usually cooking got Instagram and TikTok. If you check them out, there's a few cooking channel things there.
Oh, that's one of my hobbies actually, is eating Nicky's cooking. I love it.
And hanging out with Ricky and the dogs. These guys are my best friends, and yeah, this lifestyle's definitely for us. Like, you speak to some people and they're loving it, but also keen to get home and keen to get into the normal routine. Not us. Like, I don't know how we're gonna go getting home.
It took me a while, because probably the first month I was just, I don't know, I like doing stuff, gardening, and I used to love my lawn. So I was eager to do that again, get home and get another lawn going and all that stuff, but I just like doing this now. It's just, now I know why the retirees and the grey nomads love it so much.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to spend another winter in Melbourne. I'll come home for the summer, but if I can avoid it, I will.
It's like middle of July and we're sitting here in 30-degree heat every day. At home it's like 9 degrees. Like,
yeah,
that's horrid.
I've never brought so much sunscreen in my life. We always get asked a lot of questions, but you know, what's your favourite place and where have you liked the most, and etc, etc. But things people don't say is, what's the hardest thing been travelling? So what do you think the hardest thing's been?
We had no idea how busy it would be. We thought this was going to be a really spontaneous trip. Back home, in our normal lifestyle, it'll be a Thursday night and Rick and I will just randomly pack the car and we'll be like, let's go camping this weekend. And we wouldn't have planned a single thing. We'd stop in at the supermarket, grab some food, and we'd just go and find somewhere to stay. And we thought that this trip would be very much like that. But it's not. We have to plan at least a month in advance. If you don't want to miss out on something, you have to be thinking about the future constantly, which, I mean, it's not exactly relaxing.
Yeah, like WA, like South Australia, we still planned because it was new to us travelling, but if you're considering coming to WA, especially at this peak time, do your homework, book in your main spots if you've got a timeline. If you haven't got a timeline, I recommend still booking it in, because a lot of people we met struggle, just don't know where to go. Like, they got to this free camp, and if you kind of book, you got a bit of a plan, and it's good. You can plan yourself out. You can leave your caravan in a safe spot, go do what you got to do. But yeah, just book ahead, especially WA. We don't know the rest of it just yet. I think Darwin will be pretty busy at this time of the year too, and I think it will start to slow down when we head over to the East Coast, because everyone's wrapping up for the year, which normally works for people who are busy, so they're not really travelling.
We hope so anyway. What about you? What do you reckon's been the hardest?
Organisation and keeping stuff clean. I've got a bit of OCD, everyone reckons, and I like to keep my car clean, the caravan clean, just try to stay on top of it before it gets really bad. But it's just hard to organise yourself with, you know, we always take the dogs to the beach, we drive on the beach, you know, it's just hard keeping it clean and just organising, getting fuel, knowing where to get fuel, and there's plenty around, don't get me wrong, but you still got to think about it. And our Silverado's on AdBlue, so that's probably been the hardest thing. Just trying to get AdBlue. It's just expensive up here. Buy the 10-litre drums, it's like $80. It's like, you know, $8 a litre.
Long drives during the day, how do we keep ourselves occupied?
We listen to podcasts. So we're listening to like a bit of true crime stories when we first started, and a bit of Inspired Unemployed. I don't know if you know them, but look them up. They're funny. I drink their beer. There's a couple of young lads, just funny as. The beer is better beer. You've seen me drinking it. We actually probably should hand out for a sponsor to them. Free beer for the rest of my life would be good. But we listen to them. They're only weekly though, but we have gone back to episode 1 of Hamish and Andy. So we're listening to, they got like over 200 episodes. So we're at like, I think 18 or 20. So we've got a lot of catching up to, and podcasts make the time go fast. They're 40-minute episodes. So if you listen to music, you know, 3-minute songs, she's just scratching me. 3-minute songs, time goes really slow. So get on the podcast, they're the way to go.
Alright, well, last question to wrap it up. Out of 10, how good of a singer do you think you are?
Oh, everyone always tells me probably 8. 8 out of 10.
Do they? They always
Yeah.
do.
We're actually in a bit of a rock area, so I might give you a hit later on after a few beers. Normally takes a few courage cans to get the voices out, but I love it. You know, when you're singing, you're having a good time. So if you don't hear me singing in the one episode, I haven't had fun. We're just lying to the camera. If you're traveling with dogs, you probably know this already actually. Even kids, people say with kids, wear them out. Go out for an hour, take an hour out of your day. We always try to plan, if we're doing a big drive, we find an oval or a beach or etc. If we can't, we just take them for a big walk, but we just let them off the lead, let them go nuts for, you know, half an hour, and wear all their energy out, and then they just sleep. They're happy to sleep for 3 hours, you know, then we get our travelling done. So.
We better let these dogs go for a run.
Yeah. Quick one, guys, while we're here. We are going to let the dogs have a swim, and I'll show you how much they love the water.